Say hi, Margot.
How to do a water change. And for those of you who already know how to do one, this is do a water change with me, because I know you're slacking on it. So come do a water change with me. Get up. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. This is how I do water changes. There are many ways to do water changes. You don't have to do it the way that I do it. This is just an example, and this is just what works for me. Step 1, wash your hands or sanitize them. Make sure you rinse them off really well if you're using soap. It burns. Step 2, unplug your heater and unplug your filter. Step 2 is complete. Gather your materials. Today I will be using a bucket to collect my water in. A bucket to collect my water in. A siphon to collect the water with. A towel to dry the water off with. And dechlorinator to dechlorinate the water with. I usually use Prime. It's my favorite, but I'm out right now. So we'll have to go with the second best, in my opinion.
That's my opinion!
Hey, listen. If you want to skip the bucket, you get yourself a python. That thing goes straight from your tank to a faucet. You get the water straight from your faucet into the tank. You get the water straight from your tank down the drain if you want. Skip the middleman. Trust me. Is anyone keeping track of the steps? Because I don't know what number we're on. But it's time to just dive right in. Don't dive into your fish tank. It will break. If not, your bones. Let's begin, shall we? So I'm just gonna lay this towel on the floor so I don't get it all wet. Right like that. Now, we've got two ends of the gravel bag. We've got the one with the big thing and the one with nothing. Take the one with nothing, it goes in the bucket. That's where your water's coming out. Take the big one, put it in the tank. That's where your water's going in. This is my favorite way to start the gravel bag. So you're gonna put it in upside down. You hear that? It filled with water. And make sure the water's all the way, you know, kind of up in the tube a little bit. And I'm just gonna lift it up upside down until it starts pouring down. Put it back in the water. Put it right side up. Now my siphon has started. I'm pinching the tube to kind of slow the flow a little bit. Helps control if there's any gravel going up in there or any tiny fish like that guy. And if you have a lot of poop and debris and buildup on the bottom, you're gonna wanna get it good. Get it good like that. Get it good. Go down in the gravel. Now I'm gonna let you in on a pro move, okay? If you're not trying to vacuum the gravel and you just want the water out of there, you can set the vacuum down on a somewhat flat surface so fish can't go in, but water can. And then close the lid on top of the tubing. There's food stuck in the tube floating around that Tootsie's trying to eat right now. This is actually really entertaining. Ooh, she's not giving up. I'm just gonna let her have them. It's just resting on that little rock. Look, that shrimp is safe and sound. And I've got it closed in between my crusty lid and the lip of the tank. Now I can sit here and twiddle my thumbs until it's over. I interrupt this program to give you a Ringo Starr update. That's an update on Ringo Starr, the Beetle. He's doing good. He's just living life. Got a new lid that has an actual opening for feeding time. I put this guppy fry in here to see if he would eat it. He has not. That concludes our Ringo Starr update. The update on Ringo Starr, the Beetle, the diving beetle, Ringo Starr. So while I wait, might as well let you know that how much water you're taking out depends on your water levels. Let's say your nitrates are at 40 and you'd like them to be at 20, 50% water change. Who knew math class would come in handy? Let's say you have tannins in your tank, but you want them to stay there, but you're taking water out and the water you're putting in does not have tannins. You're gonna have to replace the tannins. If you do like 1 leaf per 10 gallons and you're doing a 50% water change, just add half a leaf back in and bam. What if you have shrimp in your tank though? You're gonna wanna be very careful. If you don't trust yourself with the gravel vac, especially with baby shrimps around, you put some mesh over the end of the gravel vac, secure it with a rubber band so water can pass through, but baby shrimps can't. If it's a smaller tank, I would just use a turkey baster. It's what I do anyway for my smaller tanks, even if there's no shrimp, it's just easier that way. I also want to add that if you want your shrimp to breed, they're more likely to breed if there's some extra detritus around. In the first few days of a baby shrimp's life, they kind of hide in one spot and wait for detritus to float towards them to eat, so they don't have to go out into the big scary world that is your tank. If you have sand in your tank, yes, you can still use a gravel vac, even though it's called a gravel vac. It's especially easy to siphon aquarium sand and pool filter sand because they're made with bigger pieces that are harder to get sucked up into the gravel vac. But it does float a lot more easily than gravel does, so I would be pinching that tube. Also, please, for the love of fish, do not gravel vac and rinse your filter media on the same day, because you will be removing a lot of bacteria at once, and that's a whole other conversation, but that is what keeps your fish alive basically. So if you want to hear more about that, let me know. Now, I'm only going to take out a bucket full of water. This bucket holds 2.5 gallons, so we're just doing a little water change today. Okay, my bucket's getting full. I need to hurry and take this up. I'm just gonna like lift it from the middle to get all of the water inside of it out. And you're gonna want to soak this in a bleaching water solution every now and then so it doesn't grow mold inside. Now I'm gonna take this bucket to the tub and dump it down the drain. However, I got a little bit of duckweed in my bucket, so what I do to keep the duckweed from going down the drain is I put a net right here where the water comes out, and then I pour it into the net so it catches the duckweed and the water still goes through. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna fill this up with fresh, dechlorinated tap water. I'm gonna come right back here, and then we're done. Can you believe how easy that was? Why do we procrastinate water changes so much? Because every single time we actually sit down and do it, it's enjoyable, it's quick, it's easy most of the time. You get to spend time with your babies. You gotta do it for the babies. I'll be right back. If you have sensitive wet pets, you might want to use a thermometer to make sure your new water is as close as humanly possible to the tank water in temperature. If they're more hardy, just put your hand in there and make sure it feels about right. I personally like to add my dechlor in the water before I put the water in my tank. Some people just put the dechlor in the tank and then put plain old tap water in on top of it. It don't matter to me. You do what you want to do, boo-boo. It's your life. You don't even have to listen to any of this. If you don't want to mess up your aquascape when you're pouring the new water in, you can pour it onto your hand, pour it onto a piece of saran wrap, you can pour it onto a plate, or you just pour it very, very, very slowly, which is what I do. So here goes. My aquascape, it don't move. Good thing I put that towel there, I'll tell you what. You see how I filled this thing to the brim? Highly recommend. Beautiful, isn't it? Now is the time to add your fertilizer, tannins, calcium, whatever you gotta put back in the water that you took out. Don't forget to put it back in. If your tank water looks even more dirty after doing your water change, do not be concerned. It's completely normal. We were just doing all that stuff, mixing up the poop and the gravel and stuff. Of course there's gonna be stuff flying around. You're fine. It's fine. It'll go back down. You'll siphon it out next time. It's the cycle of the siphon. The very last step that I will partake in is cleaning my glass because I have water stains all over it. If you're using a cleaner like a Windex, spray it on your rag away from the tank and not directly onto the tank because it can get in your water and kill your fish. So probably don't want that. And maybe use a microfiber towel. I mean, I don't know what's the lesser of two evils. Touching a microfiber towel hearing the squeaking of a regular towel against glass, or having a piece of your hair in your mouth while you're describing sensory issues. Yeah, just plug your stuff back in and we're done. Let's see how everyone's feeling after that water change, shall we? What you think, Tootsie? Feel good? The coolie loaches are wiggling about. The shrimp are out and about, scavenging and such. So yeah, I think that's everything. We did it. Was that so bad? No, it really wasn't. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments. I would love to answer. And thanks for watching. Hey, maybe subscribe. I don't know. Just think about it at least. Peace and love.
I made a boo-boo, yeah.